And we're live.
Good morning, everyone. Or at least it's morning here in Iowa. Don't know what it's doing in your neck of the woods. How you doing, Shell?
I'm doing good, and we have Barbara and Peggy and Vicky here already this morning. They were making their coffee and getting ready to go. So we better go.
Wow, I'm not getting them yet.
That's
Must
what
be
I
the
did.
effect of the snow in the air.
Sybil just joined us too. So we've already got our audience, and what we're going to be talking about today is collage. You know, that's my personal favorite. And so when we're trying to decide topics, sometimes your favorite wins. And that's what happened today. My favorite one. So we've both got piles of paper and things to get ready with. I'm going to be collaging on a piece of MDF that has gessoed canvas glued onto it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got this, I think, probably at Tuesday morning for 99 cents or something. And I'm going to try to do the most difficult paper painting style that I can think of, which is to collage a face. I don't do that very often because it is difficult. And I don't know exactly what Peg's doing. I think she might be doing an art journal page spread. Is that right?
Oh, no.
No.
I decided to work on a harder surface. I went to my stash. I actually shopped my stash this morning, and I've got all this stuff that I pulled out in the color family that I think I'm going to go with. I've got bits and pieces of paper in colors. I've got these are artwork of mine that I have printed off on the printer, so it's just printed on regular copy paper. I've got gel printed tissue paper. I've got a few stencils, and I've got these boards. I pulled two of them out just because I like to have multiple surfaces to work on. You know, you got paint, you might as well use it up, right? So I've got two of these. These were experimentation boards. I had been playing with some pouring. So I've got these really ugly pours on the backside. These are just cheap boards from, where are they from? Walmart. Cheap boards from Walmart, you know, $1 or $2 a piece. And I'm just going to use the backside because it's a little cradle and it'll work for what I have going on here. So that's where I'm starting from. And I'm just going to start by applying some of these papers down. I've got it gessoed. I've got a little splash of gold gesso on there because I like gold. And I'm just going to start putting my papers down. So I want to say good morning to everybody that's out there. Jen's got a snow day. Yeah, it's been snowing like crazy all across the Midwest. Let me tell you, I scooped about 1.5 feet of snow. So I'm ready for it to be over, but it's supposed to be in the deep freeze today, down below zero. So I don't really want to go anywhere other than sitting here in the studio and playing. So I think I will get some matte medium and start gluing stuff down. How about you?
Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I want to welcome Sherry, who I haven't seen in the group before, as well as Laura and Marie, and of course Jen, who has the snow day and gets to watch live. Yeah, I'm just going to start gluing as well. But before I do that, I want to, I've made a little drawing on here, and it's a face, a girl's face on this heart shape. And I want to preserve some of these shapes because I know that when I start to collage over, I'm going to lose the shapes. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some deli paper. This is the kind that comes in a package that's folded and you pull it out to like wrap sandwiches and hamburger patties and stuff in. It's translucent enough that, and also thin enough that I can collage on it as well as drawing on it to preserve shapes. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is get some of these shapes that I know will disappear once I start to do some collaging. And I have all just like neutral colors to start out with, and then I'll start adding more color in later. So this is pretty boring, but
Yeah, this part, getting started, you guys can chat amongst yourselves. I see Fia has joined us. I'm sorry about your hands, Fia. I know how difficult it is when parts of you are not working. I've been struggling with this shoulder all week, and I'm just really tired of it. Just really tired of it. But then, I get what I deserve because I was out shoveling snow. So who am I to complain?
Yeah, shoveling snow is probably not a good idea if you have an injured shoulder.
So when
Just saying.
I like to use the matte medium, and I like to put it on both surfaces, but I also like to spritz the back of my paper just to make sure that it's going to stick down to a surface like this. I mean, this is not the best. This is not ampersand, let me tell you. This is not the best artist grade surface. So I want to make sure that I get good cohesion between the two pieces. So that's kind of what I'm doing here is I'm just getting started. Just getting, I put down a layer of the medium. I will coat my paper on the back side also, and then I will give it a light spritz, and I will adhere that with my brush and pushing it down into the board over the top like that, getting a good surface to work on. And I'm just going to keep working that way. Across my board here, and you can see I'm starting not necessarily on the edge, but in a little bit. I am thinking about where, even though this is definitely not, I haven't thought out the whole composition of this, but what I am doing is thinking about the placement of my color on my background. It's not just helter-skelter. Because you want some lights, you want some darks. You need places for your eye to rest.
Boy, this is going to be tricky.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they are small pieces of stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky.
It's a small surface you're working on for sure. Hi, Peggy.
Yeah, I probably should have picked something larger.
It's supposed to snow in Alabama. Come on. That ain't supposed to be happening. I know this weather has just been insane this year.
So you can kind of see what I've done here. I've traced the basic shapes. I've also traced multiples of some of the small shapes so that I can use them as a guide to cut pieces out. And that's going to be kind of my directions for the shapes as I collage over the top. So I've got just lots of neutral colored papers, pieces of just, stuff that's all kind of Caucasian skin tone sort of, but has pattern and interest. I've also pulled some actual skin toned magazine pages because I know that I'm going to be using a lot of that type of color and shading, and so that's a good way to get it. I didn't do some texturing on this with some stencils earlier. I also got this pink one, which, lips and cheeks and things. So I've got a lot of this type of stuff. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I'm going to start. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start.
Great.
I should have picked something larger. What was I thinking?
You were thinking you were going to have a play day.
Yeah, I was going to. I was in my box trying to find like a little 6x6 canvas or something, and I saw this heart, and I thought, oh, Valentine's is coming. I should do it on a heart. That's what happened. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I must not be in a heartfelt mood today or something.
Well, you know, it's a ways off still, but it just sounded like something I should do, you know,
Yeah,
impulse.
yeah. So anyway, you were talking about magazine papers, and I agree. Magazine papers are a great resource for all of your collage media, collage mediums. What do I want to say? Stuff. All that collage stuff, you know. I've got some of that on my background here. I have wrapping paper, which is this paper right here is wrapping paper. This is like magazine print. This is specialty paper from the art store. It's got depth and dimension to it. So you'll get to see that as I build surfaces. This one, I want to bring some more linear stuff in here. So I'm going to change some of the color tone in this too. I want to, this orangey color is really bold. And I will be pushing that back into the background. But, you know, I also want to add some grays, some lights and darks. So that's what I'm going to do here. By adding some of this into my piece. And you don't always have to spritz everything, but, you know, real heavy paper like this, it's a good idea to spritz on something like that.
Definitely. I do that as well if I'm using some type of a pesky paper that wants to pull up. But in the case of like something what I'm putting on right now is very thin, tissuey paper, like this pattern paper, and the piece that I put on before is a napkin. You don't need to spritz that type of stuff. It's so thin. I'm using Liquitex matte gel medium, which is my personal favorite. What are you using?
I am using DecoArt Media matte gel medium.
Yep. I don't know if I have any DecoArt left, actually. I think I might have used it up.
Yeah, they're only like 4-ounce jars.
Yeah, they're tiny.
One of the things I like about it is it doesn't get goopy because I use it. It's in a smaller jar. Some of those jars are so big. Yeah, I have trouble getting the lids off of them, number one, because you have to get your hand around it and try to crank on it. And so, you know, I really like the size of this.
Yeah, I had a really small one that was from, I think it was Dina Wakley that I really liked. And for a while, I was refilling it.
Yeah.
But now I've gone for these bigger jars because I go through the, I mean, I think I must eat this. I go through this stuff so fast.
You use it, you know.
I must get hungry and eat it. I don't know. Constantly having to buy more of it.
So what I'm doing as I'm doing this is I'm anchoring my stuff to the sides. That's another little trick when you're collaging, is to think about, you know, how the eye is going to flow across the page. I don't know if I want to bring any of these greens in. I like that green blue, but I'm liking this blue gray, and yeah.
The types of collage we're doing today are a little bit different. She's doing more of a color and shape driven collage, and I'm doing more of a picture driven collage.
I like abstracts. I really like, you know, not always having an image or a direction.
You like abstraction?
Yes.
So do I. Just, I don't know why I thought I would do this today. Because actually, I'm kind of tired and grumpy. I don't know why.
You haven't been feeling the best. Oh, I need a knife. Or I'll just trim that off later. I'll keep it for now. Trimming is optional.
Hi, Fia. Hi, Margelle. I'm just looking at the chat to see who else has joined us. Hi, Holly.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm so intent on this. I haven't really been looking at the chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we get focused. We start looking down at what we're doing and we forget to look at the chat.
See, I'm liking what's going on here. I'm not liking that right there. So that eventually is going to get covered up with something. But
yeah, you can always put another layer on.
Oh, I will. Believe me. Believe me, I will.
Come on.
But I'm liking these colors and what's happening here. So I'm pretty happy with that as far as, you know, where my background is headed. So what's everybody been working on? You working on challenges? What are you doing? Tell me what you've been up to. I got to say, if you guys have not watched the Art Joy Sharing stuff that we've done this month, go watch it, because we have been shouting out small channels that you may not know about. And I think you may find some really interesting people. You know, if you're looking for new content, we like to bring on some of those smaller channels and help them grow. So check them out.
Sherry is asking about the place that I have talked about before where you can get royalty-free images, photographs.
Yeah.
And that is Unsplash, UNSPLASH, like splash, only un. I don't know why it's named that. It just is. But there's a lot of people on there providing their photographs to artists to be used without royalty. They do ask that you're kind and give them credit if you use it.
Yep.
And you can link a little, you know, like they have a little thing that you can link to.
Yeah. I mean, even if you just
thanks to blah 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 or whatever from Unsplash. So that
even if you're just looking for an inspiration photo, you know, it's a good place to go.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's kind of them to provide their type of artwork, which is photography, for us.
Yeah.
Without being jerks about it. So.
Okay, so I think that's enough paper in the background. Let's see what else I want to put on here. I've got a tag up here that I'm just wiping stuff off on. I think I might put some paper on that too while I'm at it, because it may end up in here, may not. Don't know yet. You know, just playing around. I got a tag. I might as well use it, right?
Definitely.
Sybil's knitting a sweater. Cool.
There's a skill I don't have right there. I don't have any idea how to knit or crochet.
Well, I used to crochet. I did a little knitting, was never fascinated with it. Started out crochet all the wrong way, because I started it when I was probably 8 or 9. And, you know, back then you had little bitty crochet cotton and little bitty hooks. And yeah, wasn't a fan. So, let's see. Oh, I never did use any of this. I like this. I think I need a piece of that. Bring in kind of a nature element here. Yeah, tie that middle section together with that. So, let's see. I've got some textural pieces. Now I want to think about where I'm going to go with this. Got some tape. If I can find the end of it. Oh, Jen says her elementary kids love knitting and crocheting. Huh. Yeah, I think my hands are too old for it now. Gets to a point, you know?
Yeah, definitely. My mom used to macrame, and I mean, she made tons of macrame stuff when I was a child, and macrame is coming back.
It is.
And I thought maybe I would do some of it, and then I realized I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah, it does take patience. I mean, we used to do it because out of boredom. I mean, we didn't have all Netflix and whatever.
Yeah. It's really cool. I like it. I just,
yeah.
If I started doing that, I might want to lose my patience if I have any left at all.
Well, I have seen some really cool macrame things that are more modern that intrigue me. You know, I don't have a chance to do the knotting, but I really am liking some of the things that I'm seeing. Just go check out Pinterest with macrame and you'll see what I'm talking about.
And even the knitting and crocheting stuff that I've seen on Pinterest, like the garments and things that they're making, are really different than what I recall being, blocky sweaters or whatever. They have like cool, stylish stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like something new, even though it's the same old thing, right?
Right.
I suppose I could learn it.
Yeah, it's really not that difficult. It's tying knots, guys. You know, it's tying knots. So if your hands will work long enough to do something like that, you know, I know we have people in the crowd where it's probably not the best thing for them, but you know, if you're one of the ones that's able to do it, give it a try because it is fun. And, you know, in a couple hours, you can create something pretty cool, which I find fun. Okay, so here's all my collage fodder that I've got left over that I'm just going to set aside because now I'm going to start working with some other mediums. So I've got my first layer done. I need to dry that off and then go on to the next thing.
I've got my first layer done too, and I'm gonna start working on the face on a separate piece here. So this should have time to sit aside and get that glue dried down a little bit. But it's all very neutral at this point with just a lot of texture and pattern from the different pieces that I've used. Okay. This could be fun.
There you go. Just sanding off some of that excess paper. And you know, okay, here's the thing. I'm looking at this like this, the way you guys are seeing it on screen. However, that doesn't mean I can't pick it up, turn it, and say, oh, I think I like that better, or oh, I think I like that better. You know, this is the whole thing about a piece like this is there is no right side up or upside down until you make it so. You know, you can decide how you like the look of this and just pick it up and turn it. You know, take a look at it and say, oh, that's too heavy up here, so I don't want that there. And yeah, I kind of like it down here in this corner, but I really think I like it like this because it's more like a landscape. Well, then this was the original, and I'm saying, I think I like the landscape. So yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, not leave it the way I started. I'm gonna move it around this way, and we're gonna work this way now. Stick that paper hanging over the edge. All right, so I'm going to pick up a dryer, so I'm going to move it for a little bit.
All right. Let's start with hair. I think she's going to have pinkish purplish hair because that's the coolest color hair, and that's what everyone should have. So I'm probably going to start with this darker color and just use it as my first layer. I made myself a little template here so that I can cut the shape of the face out of this first bit. Just to get something down. To give it a start. Let's see, I recently started teaching 3rd grade, quilting, knitting. They're talking about quilting and knitting and teaching young kids art, which is a good plan. It's a lot of chatter going on in the chat. So if you're watching this on replay, you can go back and read all that, see what they're talking about, see what's interesting.
Yeah, I was Barb in her quilting. She does beautiful quilts. You guys need to get to know her because she does some gorgeous stuff. Art classes. Yeah, I started an art class this month. I'm only about halfway through it. I need to get moving on it. Door to my journal. Oh, that's a name. Hi. Hi, Dawn.
Oops, what did I do?
Just trying to scroll back and see some of this. I love it when you guys are talking in the audience to each other. It just means we have community, and that's what this is all about, is forming an art community where we can share and, help each other out. I do this with my friends, and I'll say, what about this or what about that? And it helps. It really helps to have a community where you can bounce things off of people. Okay, what do I want to do next? I think next I am going to get some stencils out.
Why does this thing always want to restart in the middle of live? We have an update for you. Restart your computer. No, I'm not going to.
No, thank you.
Every time. It did that last week too. It's just crazy.
Let's see. I like this one. Let's concentrate on this one right now. And let's put some stenciling on here. Not sure what I want to do here yet. I had pulled out, just, so that you guys can see where my mind is going. I pulled out some of this kind of stuff too. And I'm thinking about adding some dimension with this on here. But then I also want to do, if I put this in here, let's just go for it. I'm going to cap this one, if I can find my lid. And I'm going to get some light molding paste right here. And I'm going to put some of that through some stencils. So grab a palette knife. I am liking this new one that I just got. This was a mashup from Stencil Girl for their monthly thing, and both Mary Beth Shaw and Seth Apter contributing to the designs of these stencils. So I thought, ooh, these are really cool. I need to use those when I play. So just going to put some of that. I should, if I was good, I'd probably get out the tape and I'd mask things off. Yeah, I'm in too big a hurry for that. So it's going to get what it gets. So got a little clean up there. Clean up on aisle 7.
Man.
I think it's because I've got the textural stuff behind there. Anyway, I'm liking that. I want to add a little bit more over here. That same texture and dimension. And yeah, let's go all the way up with that. Try to do it without smashing it. Mashing it. I like these little 6x6 for stuff like this. Okay, so I've got that. I also have, let's see, I need to wipe my stencil off. Pardon me. I'll get that goop off of there. I'm just going to wipe it down. I'll wash it after the show. Put this in the wash pile. with my brushes. Okay, so I've got that. Okay, and then I'll let that set aside dry. And on this one, I want to do something that's a little more organic, not so linear. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to put a little bit of that molding paste on. Okay, I should put this in the camera shot, shouldn't I? I'm going to put a little bit of that molding paste in here because I'm going to let that be part of the glue on that fabric piece. Where did I put that? So I'm just going to press that down in there, and I'm going to heat up a glue gun because I think I'm going to have a use for it here. I don't normally, you know, if I'm doing a piece like this, I don't normally want to use a glue gun, but this is a fast show, so you kind of need things to hold in place while they dry. Cut that off there. Cut that off there. And just embedding those threads. Like so. All right, now I can set that aside. And I can come back to this one, which, you know, needs something. So now I want to take that light molding paste, and I've got this new stencil, and I'm really liking this section right down here. So I'm thinking I'm going to use some of that to give us a little dimension down here. Oops. Oh yeah, I like that. And then we'll come to the opposite side over here, and we'll do a repeat. Love the organic shapes in this one. Just reminds me of stuff I find in nature. And, you know, when you're shopping for stencils, just like when you're shopping for stamps, think about how you're going to use it. You know, how is it going to be used in how I create? You know, because you look at all those stencils and you think, oh my gosh, how do you pick? Or at least I do. It's like, because there's so many cool shapes and designs. But this one's a winner for sure. But this was picked for me because it was part of the club set. So, but
Yeah, but you get Mary Beth and Seth Apter together, you're going to get a winner.
Yeah, well, and I want to use what the club is sending me, you know, because that's the point of getting it. So I want to make sure that I'm using those. And I like, you know, on this same stencil, I like this part right here. So I'm thinking, is that going to be too much? I don't know. What's too much?
No such thing.
I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit of that on there too. Keeping that linear thing going on this one. I've got a thread in there. Got a thread.
It's just texture.
Yeah. Okay, not so sure that was the right choice. I think I need to change this up. Just a little bit. All right. Clean that one off. Susie's just popping in to say hello. She says she'll have to watch later. Good to see you, Suze. Lovely Malaya stopping in for a quick hello. She's heading to the storage trailer. Ah, yeah, purging. Gotcha. I've been doing that for years. It's a never-ending process, just telling you.
Are there art supplies in that storage trailer?
She'll have to tell us.
Because that's what would be in mine, probably.
Yeah, Holly, these are you talking about the boards that I'm working on? The boards I'm working on are just some cheap stuff from Walmart. They're nothing fancy, not ampersand or anything like that. They were little cradle boards, and I was trying out some pouring processes, which were kind of disasters. Didn't work out real well. So I thought, well, it's still a wooden hard surface. I'm going to use it to do a little bit of collaging on. So you can find these in the really, really, really cheap craft section at Walmart if you have a Walmart near you. All right, got that down. Now I probably need to move to, well, I need this dry to start with. You guys liking what's going on here? It's kind of a hot mess right now. And then this one, you know, and there again, there is no, you can look at it and say, oh, I like that, or I like that, you know. We haven't really put a focal point on this yet, so it's still in process. But, you know, I've got this whole linear thing going on with this. So let me see if I can dry any of this stuff. I'll be back.
Oh boy. So I've been working on the hair, giving it some movement and strands of color. Of course, this will just be cut out from the back. You know, so it'll end up with this sort of a shape in the end. I still haven't finished building up over here. I'm not sure how much of this actually goes on here. There we go. So it'll be like that on the board once I get it done. So I need to build up a few more little strands over here. And I just cut these. I just take the scissors and just make like curly, interesting shapes. I got the glue brush in my mouth. That's why I sound so funny. And then I can put those on whichever way I want to add flow and movement. Thinking that maybe this is not going to be a project I can finish today. I'm not sure. I thought it would be fairly simple, but
Not everything can be done in an hour and a half.
I try.
No, it's not a tile, Holly. It's wood. It's actually a wood. This is a wood panel piece. Hear that? It's wood, and they're just cheap. They start out as raw wood, and they're just a couple of bucks in your Walmart, you know. But the reason I got them is because they had a lip on them, and I was doing pourings, and I didn't want to have to worry about the paint running off everywhere. So I picked a couple of these little things up to try some paint pours. Well, you know, it's a surface, and I can put something on it, and it's wood, and I like working on a hard surface. So rather than buy an expensive board when I'm just playing like this, I will go and get something like this and grab it for a show and work on the back surface like this, so that yeah, it's a good thing to play on, you know, not expensive, and you can have a good play day. Okay. Hi, Josie.
Oh, you're kidding me, really?
Uh-oh. So now I've got the molding paste on. It's semi-dry, not real dry. So I have to be careful with my painting and stuff on here, but I am going to start putting some paint down. I've got some Deco Art Media paints here, and I've got a palette of colors pulled out that I want to use. I think I need some blue though. I think I want some blue in this. Let me go grab a blue.
She disappeared. I guess I better be back on here, huh? So I'm now fitting the hair around the shapes that I know are going to be there. Had a few areas that I didn't have anything yet.
Ooh, paint boogers. I'm going to
find something you like?
get out some Quin Gold because there's some of those tones in here. I'm just making a paint palette over here to draw from. I've got some green gold. I've got some Payne's gray. If I can get it out. Let's shake it up. Come on. Payne's gray.
I just can't imagine that you picked Quinn Gold.
I know, right? I've got a
Who
little
does that?
Prussian blue hue, which is a nice dark. And then let's see, I've got, let's do the phthalo blue.
Good
Doing a
choice, good
blue-green
choice.
kind of combo on here, it looks like. So, those are my colors. I'm sticking to them. And I get a brush and my water bottle. Because I want to dilute these. I don't want to put it on there so strong. I still want to be able to see the work that I have done so far. So let's just take these one at a time. This one I think is a little bit drier than the other one, so we'll start with this one. And on here, I'm liking these rusty tones. So let me get another stencil. I've got this one. What do I want to start with? I think I will start with this blue. I'm liking this blue. I want to mix a little bit of this other one with it to make it nice and dark. And I just want to put a little of that in here. Help it to bleed out a little bit. And then I'm going to mop. What I want is that to move out a little bit. I also want the Payne's gray with a little blue hue to it, kind of out here around the edges. Okay, spritz. Blend. I don't want everything to disappear. I want it to blend together. That's what I'm doing with the colors, is I'm pulling things together. And you can see that there's contrast. There's the dark weight here, the light here, lighter here. You know, so that your eye has someplace to go. All right, so I need to rinse my brush. And now I want to go to the Quinn Gold here. I'm just going to take my little sponge applicator. I'm going to blend that in. Trying to unify some of that. I want to do something right in here. And I think I want it lighter. So I may have to mix a little bit of gesso in with that. Need my palette knife to get the gesso out so I don't contaminate. That's one of the things, you know, people talk about, I've got stuff growing in my in my products. Well, you need to keep your product jars clean. That's why we use a palette, so that we don't grow mold and stuff in our jars. All right, so let's mix some of this up, see what I get. What I'm doing is I'm making a gray tone by mixing these colors together of what I've already got. So I've got the blue, I've got the gold, I've got the gray, and I've got a little gesso here. Just making a gray tone, okay? Yep, I'm going to use that because it blends all of that together. And you see what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of those harsh lines from the collage pieces that are underneath. It's kind of masking that. Oops. Ruh-roh, it moved on me. Okay. So, I need to dry that one. So I'm going to set that aside and let's go to this other piece. It's still very, 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 very wet. Actually, I've got this little tag here too. Let's do a little bit of stenciling on this. With those same colors. There's the tag. All right. And now I have this piece. If this were a little bit drier, I might be tempted to come in and use some of my crayons over the top. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time today. Thanks, Patty. Yeah, seasonal art is very popular. You know, I am I'm liking the color combos on this. I want to keep some of this white space on this one, so I want to focus more on what's going on in here. And I think I want to add more of this green in on this one. So I'm going to rinse. I'm going to get that green gold, and I'm just going to paint in some of that green gold. And then this greenish blue. Add in here. And now I can spritz. See what we get. I'm liking the blend that we're getting with those. Just take some of that green gold and pull it up into this area and down here. Over here. Over here. So I want to retain some of that light tone in there. All right. So now I want to add something unexpected.
I'm expecting you to add something.
You know, last week we were working with embossing powders. I'm liking these. These are Willow Perfect Effects. I like this one too. It's got more of a gold tone. These are pure gold flakes. I've got some Bake Texture embossing powder. I've got some vanilla sugar. I think I might want, trying to figure out which one I want to go with here. So many choices. So actually, if I had any hammered metal, that might be a good one. Where's the hammered metal?
I didn't take it.
Yeah. Oh, there's copper.
That's a good choice.
Uh-huh.
I vote for copper.
Copper and brass are good. Yeah, I wonder what I did with that one.
It wasn't me.
Oh well, we'll use what we got on the table. It's only an hour and a half show. You guys can't sit here and watch me pick embossing powders, right? Well, you could, but yeah, that wouldn't be any fun. Hey, Aunt Back. Out for a walk? Good. I hope Scott's feeling better this morning. Okay, so yeah, I want to get some textural stuff on here. So I have, where is it? Where is it? I have my embossing in a little container. Here we go. This is one of those clear embossing dabbers. Well loved and well used. So just want to make sure I'm getting some out here. Okay. So I want to start just by adding, and I need some paper to put that off on. Grab a couple sheets of copy paper. And I'm going to start with Shell's favorite because she is the heavy metal girl. We'll start with a little bit of this copper in here.
Copper.
Once I get that going, it'll be easier. Because you can melt onto melt. You gotta have something for it to stick to when you first get started. And I'm gonna use my slow blow heat gun because I don't want this stuff blowing all over the place. So I want to heat it up first and then go to my surface. Oh my gosh, I hope you hear from the cardiologist soon. That's been quite a while. Well, there had to be something that made that happen. Good grief. Okay, so my gun is hot. I'm just going to come in here. Start heating that. I've got little bitty spoons too. You can order these on Amazon. So like when it's hot like that and you want to add some more, I can just take my little bitty spoon and dump a little bit more in there. Add a little bit more there. So I think you guys can see where I'm headed with this. Textural element. Okay, and I want to add some other color to that too. So I'm going to add a little bit of brass. Or is this, what is this? This is, yeah, new brass.
So started to work on the highlights and shadows on the skin on the face here, mostly using these magazine pages. So just thinking about the highlights and shadows that are on faces and putting different tones of paper. Like we know that the forehead and the it's even like on this piece of paper, it's dark down here. It's kind of really light, really light right there. Kind of medium over here. So there's a lot of options, colors to use of paper. So light on the forehead, light above the eyes, you know, that type of stuff. So that's how far I've gotten so far.
Cool.
It just takes time. It's a
Everything does.
fun thing. There's a light color. I'm going to need some dark first. Are you done drying?
Well, at the moment, yeah.
For the moment.
Yeah, I'm still working on this thing. I need to come out with something over here, or I'm thinking about a focal image or something on top of here. I also need to add some color around the edges. So I think I'm going to start with some darker color. So let's reach for our Payne's Gray. Thanks, Laura. I want to tint this area. That Payne's Gray. And also here, around the corner. So, okay, now I'm going to set this one aside, let that dry. Let's go back to this one. It's still damp, of course, but I want to think about how do I want to start to unify this. I'm going to take some archival ink to start with. Get some of the browns and blacks around the edges. And let's get this is coffee. That should be nice. Actually, I think I'll use a blending tool on this, or a brush. Hello, where's my brushes? Grab a brush. Bring in that lovely brown, which Shell doesn't care for.
Brown, brown, brown.
But I seem to like and use a lot.
Yes, you do.
But brown's natural. Brown's in nature. You know, look at the trees.
That's true.
Their trunks are brown. And I like coffee too. Just saying. All right, and then we want to add some of that blue. So let me get a, what color blue do I want? Let me get a, yeah, let's start with the cobalt. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's a nice deep blue. Blend out some of these areas. Oh, my paper's peeling. That's not good. Have to cover that up somehow. Didn't expect that. At all. That's the joys of working live. But when stuff's still wet, things will happen.
That is true.
Okay, so and actually, let me get a couple of these guys. Got a couple of these butterflies. Let me put a little. Little color on those guys. And we need more colors. So let's go with orange blossom maybe, huh? Because it's a butterfly. Butterfly. Should have some orange on it. There's a blender. Okay. All right. So those colored up in the same color family. What else do I want to use on here?
I don't know.
I've got some. Yeah, I don't like that. Start gluing some stuff down. It's getting to be that time of day.
What time is it?
Time to glue some stuff down.
Time to glue.
Let's see. Need a color on the edge of this. And remember, this is just trash. This is an old tag. And I want to lighten that up a little bit. So I'm going to take just some get some gesso out here. Put my little scruffy around to get the white. And I'm going to use that to blend. And I think I will use a little bit of that also on here.
Oh.
Get out some of that texture.
We have some new people. Atidal Ganem.
Hi.
Probably completely doing that wrong. Don Boss. Josie Guido.
Yeah, Josie's been with us before.
Has she?
Yeah.
I recognize the name. Don't necessarily remember her being in here before.
Oh, okay. I think I want to darken that a little bit. So where is that stencil? Use this one. Here we go.
Teeny tiny pieces of paper.
So I've got that. Still not liking that. What is it? It must be that rough edge. I'm not liking on that. Let's tear that down. Straight edges sometimes bother me. I don't know about you guys. Sometimes I don't really like all that straight stuff. So that makes me happier. Yeah. Add that in. We'll add a couple of our butterflies with some dimensional. Some dimensional adhesive on here.
It's darker.
Thanks, Josie. Bye, Laura. You gotta go. See you again. Yeah, I know, time differences. It's hard. It is really hard. I get that. So let's see if I get this. Let's just position our butterflies here. Let me grab some more dimensional adhesive. Huh. Okay, so I've also got some, what do I do with those? Got some of these little, that doesn't want to stick down because it's wet. Got some of these little things here. I'm thinking might want to add a few. I might actually add that to this mess up here. Yeah. Make it a focal point, right? What the heck?
I need some little tweezers or something. These things are so tiny.
Whoops. I'm so gummed up, everything's sticking to me. I don't like that color. Not going to use that. Not using that one. That's better.
Just say no.
Just say no. Just saying no to that. Because I can do that.
Yep, it's definitely your choice. You can do whatever you want.
Should have made that a... Ah. Let's get them here on the butterfly. Why not? And then, of course, I'm going to need a little more of that Payne's Gray. And some water. And do this. I'll get more of that up there. Here's my rag. All right, set that one aside. Let's see how we're doing on this one. I need something to brighten that. Let's see, I've got wire. I've got these pieces. This One of these brass pieces might be kind of fun on here. Maybe even build it up. I don't know. Oh, the piece down in the bottom is the one I want, of course.
Of course.
And then I'll dig it out and I'll say, oh, that wasn't what I wanted at all. Ah. Yeah, I think that's better than a flower. So I'm thinking I should probably put some of that embossing powder on this. And maybe use some of those effects. So let me get my glue. Let's see. This is going to go right about there. So if I'm putting that in for the focal, I have the glue gun. I want some of those effects on here. Coming out these earthy tone, gold, glitter, yummy goodness things here. So let me get a little more hot glue and some more flakes.
Josie, mine is a face, a collaged face. I think that's what she's asking. I haven't been on screen very much, so.
How's it going over there, Shell?
It's fussy and tiny, and probably should have picked a different project for live.
Okay, so I'm gonna let that set into the glue.
Well, now I've lost my top lip. Dang it!
I work on this.
Oh, there. Okay.
With those embossing powders. So I'm gonna go back to my emboss it dauber. And get some of that onto my metal piece. You guys know that this stuff gets really hot. So use some tweezers or something to hold that with. I know I got them here somewhere. So I'm going to take that first one. See, and I've got all of these clay pieces that could go on here too. I mean, you can just keep building and layering and having fun. Where did I? Oh, here we go. Here's the embossing powders we had out. So I'm going to use a little bit of that copper tone that we started with.
Copper tone?
Is copper tone. And dump the rest of that back in there. And then I want to add some of that new brass. Just a little bit. Not a lot. We'll see how that turns out. And we'll heat. And I think I'm going to use my heavy duty heat gun for that. I'm going to start out with a small one and then I'll move over to the big one. Yep.
Mine is just like it's a canvas, so I can't really use it in a journal so much. It's a piece of MDF board. It's a piece of MDF, and it had a canvas glued to it. So it's just actually going to be some sort of an art piece. I don't know. It's too heavy to glue into anything else. I found it in my closet and I said, hey, here's a collage.
Hey.
That would probably be fun, I said. Obviously, I was confused.
Not at all.
This is something that takes quite a bit of concentration and maybe not the best thing for a live show.
Oh, but it's so cool. I mean, you know, so you don't get it all done. People still want to see the process, you know.
She's got way too much forehead. She got too much forehead. That's what I'm gonna say.
Too much forehead. Well, give her bangs.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some more hair down over here. Another streak of hair if I can find something.
Okay, I still need to add a little more embossing powder on this. Oops, that goes on that.
And we have a nose situation. I definitely have a nose situation. I'm gonna need a dark shadow.
Oh, this would be cool. Might have to incorporate that somehow. Yeah. Okay. So embossing powder. That's where it was. Oops. Get my itty bitty spoon and add some of that copper in here. Oh yeah. Oop, wrong gun. Oh, I love making a hot mess. The studio is going to be so fun to clean after the show.
Light.
All right, I'm liking that. And then we need a point on. Don't want a white anything behind there, so. This is where the black tape comes into play.
actually need something more dark.
And you want to use a heavy-duty glue. I'm just using the tape to hold it off the surface and to give it dimension. But I also would use some medium to hold that down. Oh, get the lid off the jar. You see it's a nice thick gel, medium. So I will just slather a little of that on, like so. It's going to stick through and show for right now, but it will disappear once it's dry. I want to turn that so it's going north-south. There we go. That makes me happier when it's going north-south. So that'll stick down there, but then I don't know if I have enough of this to go all the way around. I don't. Darn it. That would have been cool. That would have been cool if I had enough of that. I'm going to have to look through my other embellishments and see what I have that'll work on that surface. You guys all have drawers like this? Just saying. Gotta have some fun stuff in your art. Oh, I like this tassel. Wonder how I could work that in. Still need to do something here. I don't like that rough edge. So I think I need to grab a sponge with a stencil and do something right here. Where'd that stencil go that I was using? This should work. Let that blend out a little bit. Don't really want to see everything. Oops. That wasn't intentional. Whoops. There we go.
I think I'm going to need some pen.
this is what I was looking at. Wonder if I can, yeah, why not? Take a little piece of this. Yeah, tassel's too big. I think I'll lose the tassel. And just use those elements. Like so. A little bit of hot glue here. And stick that baby down.
Startled me.
Uh-oh. No startling allowed. So you can just keep going, building on these things. I mean, I've got pieces like this that I've molded. This would be cool. I just need to paint it out. You know, so I would pick a color family. Get some lids on this stuff so it doesn't blow all over the place. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, so you know, you can just keep adding as you go. This is by no means done, but our show, you know, only lasts so long. So we'll post final pictures once we get to that point. But you know, this is just an idea how to go about collaging, how to create something like this. And I had no intention of having two finished projects today. It just worked out that way because I had two pieces out that I was working on simultaneously. And you can see that I'm working in close color proximity so that, you know, if you were to hang these someplace together, you know, maybe not right together, but in the same room, they would work together. So how's it going over there, Shell?
Meh. I'm not even going to have something finished to take a picture of.
Oh.
But, I cut out a little bit of pen, and I'm just adding some shadows. You can do that over your collage. It doesn't have to be 100% collage. I still think she has too much forehead. But I've got a lot of my color in the right places at least. I'm just not in a very good mood today. Sometimes it's like that.
You know, not every day do we come up with a finished anything. So, yeah, this is too bright. I have to mix it.
She doesn't have pink cheeks yet. We could do that. A little bit of Faber-Castell.
Yeah.
Pink up some stuff. It helps a little.
Shell is collaging a face. on a heart.
Yes, my face on a heart.
She started with one of her original drawings. And then she's paper collaging, paper piecing.
Paper painting.
Paper painting. That's her word. That's the one I was searching for.
Yep. It's not too bad, I
You
guess.
guys have any questions about all of this stuff? You pretty good with this?
Yeah. Are we about done? It's 20 after.
We're way done. Yeah.
Oh, 20 minutes too long?
Yeah.
See, I wasn't even paying attention. Does anybody have any questions? And other than that, we'll be done. Yeah, the girl does look like she's in a bad mood, just like me. She looks very pouty.
Everybody has their day, right?
Yeah. Just one of those days. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. And if you don't have any questions, then we'll be out of here. I didn't realize we were so far behind because I didn't even look up this entire time.
Barb said, "Well, you did it."
Thank you.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. It looks beautiful. So
it's good enough.
Yeah, that's it from us today, guys. We've kind of covered the whole gamut here. We've got butterflies. We've got just abstract collage, and that's it for me.
Yep, and I got non-abstract collage. And that's it for me.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.